NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit when other lenders say no. Apply in minutes and get a decision as soon as the same day. If approved, applications are typically funded the next business day or sooner. Loans offered by NetCredit or lending partner banks and serviced by NetCredit. Application subject to review and approval. Learn more at netcredit.com/partner. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
Your dining room is the heart of your home, where meals are shared and memories are made. At Ashley, you'll find affordable dining furniture in a range of classic and modern styles. Ashley small space sets and extendable tables are designed to fit beautifully into any space, from cozy breakfast nooks and kitchens to formal dining areas fit for a feast. And with mix-and-match seating options, everyone at your table gets the perfect seat. At Ashley, style is served. Shop in-store or online today.
For exclusive podcasts and more, sign up at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia.
This week's Law & Order Marathon winner is Christine Panton from West Dunbartonshire in Scotland. Christine will get a marathon decal showing she watched 26.2 hours of her favorite crime show. To be next week's winner, sign up at lawandorderpodcast.com.
I'm Kevin Flynn with Katie and Rebecca Lavoie, and these are their stories.
You think you know who did it, but you don't know who did it. Law and order, law and order, law and order. It's no ordinary police procedural, baby. It's the FNOG of police procedures, baby. Law and order, law and order, law and order, law and order. These are their stories, these are their stories.
Welcome to These Are Their Stories, the podcast about network TV's most enduring crime franchise and the real-life cases that inspired their shows. I'm Kevin Flynn. Each podcast will break down an episode from either Criminal Intent, SVU, or Original Recipe, and today we're looking at Criminal Intent. That's the United States of America Criminal Intent, by the way.
All right, yes.
Criminal Intent, Season 8, Episode 7, Folie à Deux.
No one's actually seen Emma for 6 months.
So they stage a kidnapping to cover up whatever was done to that child?
Yes. I mean, mainly for the benefit of Andre's aunt. You see, Emma is the golden goose. It's Andre's only chance of inheriting the money.
Joining me to do just that is true crime author and host of Crime Writers on Netflix's You Can't Make This Up podcast, Rebecca Lavoie. Hello, Rebecca.
Thanks for having me back, Kevin.
And rounding out the panel is our special returning guest. It's Katie from Date with Dateline. Hi, Katie.
Hi. Thank you for having me back as well.
Yeah, well, you are our criminal intent expert. I'm sorry we did not call upon you for the criminal intent, the Toronto criminal intent episode, but we had a Canadian expert, and we thought that outweighed the criminal intent part of that equation.
I'm not going to argue with that, but I have arguments in my brain. But I understand.
Fair enough. So I got to ask you, because we're at the end of October here, what Law & Order character would you dress as for Halloween?
Oh, that's a loaded question. Do you guys have yours picked?
I just picked one because I didn't know this question.
Okay, who are you going to go as?
I'd be Rollins. I'd probably be Pregnant Rollins.
Be Pregnant Rollins?
Yeah.
I think I would be a Stabler, but in the jean jacket era Stabler.
When he had that little fuzz of hair?
Yeah, a little fuzz of hair. And he's wearing what they would call the Canadian tuxedo, where he had the jeans and the jean jacket.
That's really... I also want to be Stabler. Can I also be Stabler?
You can be Stabler.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'd also like to be
But it's like
Stabler.
Taylor Swift. You got to pick a different era.
Okay. Sorry, everyone I'm picking would be a very difficult costume. I was a costumer for a time, so I'm just like thinking logistically in my head, who could I actually make myself look like and make it work? No, I want to be a male. Let's do McCoy. Let's do Jack McCoy.
Okay.
I feel like I could do it. Sort of frumpled. Okay, yeah, I could do it.
You think you do it? Yeah.
Frumpled.
Although I feel like with your blonde hair, you could be Serena Sutherland.
Is this because I'm a lesbian?
Yeah.
Could definitely do that one.
No, I want it to be the furthest of what I look like, so people are just genuinely surprised. And I'm into man wigs. They're very fun.
Katie, of all the franchises, and I know you have an answer because we just went over this before we started, which two cops are your favorite Law & Order detective team?
Favorite Law and Order detective team.
It's always going to be the same.
That's fine.
That's
it's
fine.
always going to be Eames. and
Just Eames.
Goren. Yeah, because of my problem with Vincent D'Onofrio. It's not a problem. It's I just have a fondness for him. That's the end.
He has the problem with us.
Yeah, he hates us.
He's still mad at us from our first episode.
Do you think he thinks about it still?
I think he does. I think he holds a grudge.
He's method.
I do think he holds a grudge. Yeah. Oh no, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Pull it together, Vinny.
No.
Kevin's too thin-skinned.
I'm way too thin-skinned. When the V Hive came for me, I was pretty upset. I was pretty scared. Yeah. And just because we also did the additional homework before we started, Katie, remind us, who is your favorite prosecutorial team?
Favorite Law and Order District Attorney Prosecutorial Team.
Sam McCoy. And
what? Who?
Sorry, I wrote Sam McCoy here for some reason. Jack McCoy.
Yes.
And I wrote Abby Roundabout, which is great. So there we go. So, sorry, Abby. What did I try to write here, Rebecca?
Carmichael.
Can you see that note?
McCoy. Yeah.
Roundabout.
Yeah. I'm going to say that the next time you come on the show, and I guess that's still kind of up in the air.
Stop.
We will grandfather you into not having to do this segment. We'll go immediately to the description.
That was the only thing I was stressed out about.
You have one job.
It doesn't matter. It isn't like this is not a wrong answer. You say Chester Lake. No one gives a fuck.
Sam McCoy is a wrong answer.
There you go. Well, I guess you could find the wrong answer. Yeah. All right, now let's take a look at the first half of this episode. Law and Order Criminal Intent, Season 8, Episode 7, Folie à Deux. Well, the exposition dump begins with Andre and Callista Haslum pushing their baby stroller into a nice New York hotel. Andre had made up a story about baby Emma being sick so he doesn't have to take her to his rich, dying Aunt Emily. The couple leave Emma in their hotel room to have a fancy dinner with Callista's friend, Celia. Meanwhile, a suspicious guy with a black duffel bag has been breaking into hotel rooms. When Andre leaves the dinner to check on the baby, he finds Emma is gone.
How does something like this happen?
You're gonna find her, right? You're gonna bring her back safe?
Right now, I have to ask you to try to remember everything you can.
Well, we were downstairs. We were all having dinner.
Before that, did you receive any calls?
Just Celia.
Visitors? And you're sure you locked up when you left?
Of course I'm sure. I knew we shouldn't have left her alone.
Video captures the man in the hat stealing the maid's key card, and Goren and Eames learned that glass discovered in each burgled room had traces of styrofoam chemicals. That leads them to Mark Karsten, plastics factory employee by day, professional cat burglar by night. He's captured trying to flee, and so ends another 11-minute episode of Law & Order Criminal Intent. But Karsten doesn't have the baby. While Andrea is keeping Callista medicated, the detectives learn the Haslums have little money, and Andre abruptly left his job teaching college poetry before his plagiarism could be uncovered. Aunt Emily gets a ransom call for $2 million. The GPS tracker leads them to the home of George, Emily's private secretary. He has the ransom money, but there's no sign of Emma. Okay, so there's a whole lot happening in the first few minutes with this family. But we do see one person who is out of place, and it's a guy in a dark hat with a big duffel bag. And we watch him go door to door with a pass key and then break into one of the rooms. So he's got some gear that will open the hotel room safe, and there are thousands of dollars in cash and multiple gold watches in this one hotel safe. And my question is, who goes on vacation and says, I need to bring all that?
To Vegas, maybe, but not to New York.
To Vegas. But if you have multiple luxury watches.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah,
like you just bring one. You don't bring them all. And all that cash. I mean, if you're bringing all that cash to New York, you're doing something with it outside of your hotel room. So take it with you.
Yeah.
Or you yourself are a thief.
Oh. It does take a thief to catch a thief.
Oh, thief locker.
Mm-hmm. That's why the guy was so upset. He's like, you know how many hotel rooms I had to burglarize? before my shit got taken? God damn it. And why does the guy need to look like D.B. Cooper with the gym bag? He's in a hotel. You can walk around with a suitcase.
Roll it around.
Yeah.
Sorry, he wasn't trying to be maintenance of some kind?
Yes?
Sorry, I must have the wrong room.
It looked like he was there to be like, I'm here to fix your air conditioner. No? Didn't it? It's sort of, I gotta check the heater. It felt like that. So excuse my accent, but it felt like something like he was going door to door to, that's how he was like seeing if people were in the rooms to start, right?
Yeah.
There's a parrot on the other side of the door. It's the plumber. I've come to fix the sink. And if you're from Gen X, you know exactly what happens to that plumber.
That's it.
Oh, is it? Okay. But there is one thing that might ruin my dinner at a very fancy restaurant, and it's that the group next to me has an actual baby monitor.
You know, I don't trust this thing. I'm gonna go check on it.
You worry so much. Should I go?
It's okay. I'll be right back.
Because a baby crying on a speakerphone would be just too courteous.
I'm not going to lie. I did that once.
You brought the... Wait a minute, what?
I was in a hotel and I brought the baby monitor to dinner. I totally did it once. Is that bad?
Yeah.
I did it. I did it once.
How did the baby not get kidnapped? Look at Katie's face.
Wait a minute. Was it in a restaurant like that?
It was in a restaurant in the hotel, and like the baby. I'm not going to tell you.
Was it like a Howard Johnson's? Or was this like
no? It was not.
It's the airport Hojo. It was. Wait a minute.
I did it once. My kids are both still alive. It's fine.
No,
is this a motel? Like with a neon light that would flash?
No, it was a hotel, and I was with my friend. And we were like, we could get room service, but it's also like we could also just run downstairs real quick. There's literally the same thing we use at home. We have this at our disposal. We're 100 feet away from the room, same distance we would be like at our houses.
Right. And then you sat there and you had a meal of food.
Yes.
Where, and the waiter came over and you just had this baby monitor, this one-way walkie-talkie.
Yes.
It's plastic.
Yes.
It's going.
Are the kids not still alive?
I'm not a mom. I've got nothing. I think it seems fine to me. That tracks. Yeah.
I'm going to say in 2024, I think it would be more frowned on than it was in 2001.
Yeah. After 9/11, you're like, no, you can't take that baby monitor out. Because if you do, the terrorists win.
Yeah.
But I tell you, if you sat down next to me with the baby monitor, I would not be happy.
Okay.
My Yelp review would be very poor.
At the restaurant?
At the restaurant, absolutely.
All right.
Why not just like bring the baby monitor on the plane, right?
Yes.
And then like the baby can be in the back so those people can be disturbed. And then you bring the baby monitor to the front of the plane so everybody can have a miserable time.
Hey, you were a baby once.
But my parents didn't go to the restaurant with communications equipment.
No, they went to the restaurant and just left you in the room.
They just left you. They just hoped for the best.
Because it was the fucking 70s, man. You know how it was.
I know it was. Generation X. So this is a Goren episode. I should say it's a Goren beard episode.
Yeah.
So if for those of you trying to do the carbon dating for the series, that's where we are. He finds out that those tiny bits of glass that the cat burglar had tracked into every room he'd been in, not to mention probably the hallways and the elevator and the subway ride over from his house where he went after work and picked up the chemical, whatever. They find out that, okay, that glass contains chemicals used to create styrofoam.
Yes.
So they look at a map of companies that make styrofoam, and Goren says, let's go to that one.
And the flags indicate all factories that manufacture styrofoam.
Great, where do we start?
Well, the burglar used credit cards which were stolen from Marvin Cutler, who lives in Summit. Let's go to Newark.
He's Goren.
He's not even sniffing it. He's just like looking at the graphic saying, I like that pin the best.
Likes Jersey.
Like Jersey.
I went back on this about 5 times because I thought I missed something. I was like, wait, how did they get to Markey so fast? I couldn't figure out how they got, and it was literally just styrofoam, and then it was possibly that was the styrofoam factory because
Jersey.
It was close.
Jersey. Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
right.
Jersey.
I love Bear Goren. I love him. I think Bear Goren is the smartest version of him.
So they can find trace amounts of this chemical in glass, but you know what they missed? All those fingerprints on the key card, on the door handle, on the fucking safe, all over the maid.
Is he not wearing gloves?
No, he's not that great. He's got a hat for the Miami Flame or whatever the stupid. What was the sports team?
Yeah, the Flame.
There was some other episode we did where Goren knew the name of this minor league baseball team from Mexico. Like the El Diablos or something, but he didn't know who they're like, who's the Miami Flame? I don't know who the Miami Flame is. I don't work at Lids.
It's the Duplo for the Miami Heat is what it is.
Oh, Jesus.
The Hydrox for the Miami Heat.
That's it. It's the Kirkland Miami Heat. That's it.
Yeah.
You have it. Nailed it.
So Karsten makes the typical TV escape. Someone shows up and says, hey, these people want to talk to you.
Got a couple Miami fans here for you.
Stop, police!
Suspect is on the move.
To which he immediately runs away. He gets into a delivery van with the back door still open, steals it. Then he gets cut off by a police car, just pulls out right in front of him. Then the entire time, all of this that he's driving around in his van, styrofoam is coming out of the back of the van, which you can tell by the noise. Just makes like, oh no, giant box. That was it. That was the end of it. Ouch. So they question Karsten about why he kidnapped the baby, and he denies it by saying,
I didn't take a baby. I've got kids of my own, for Pete's sakes.
You know, that's not really why people kidnap children. It's not because they don't have enough kids.
Yeah.
There's like a whole other motivation for that, but it's not like we need to have more play dates around here.
You obviously haven't watched SVU because that's literally why everybody kidnaps a baby on SVU.
You mean it's the only time they come back?
Well, it's because they want a baby so bad.
They want a baby so bad. So in order to prove that he's not a kidnapper, he decides he'll just incriminate himself in a completely different way by showing the detectives his storage container filled with all his stolen goods. Fine art, vases, mantel clocks, antique tables and chairs, nothing that fits into a duffel bag. Where the actual fuck?
I liked how he had the jewelry box open with all the jewels displayed in his thievery hut.
Like a treasure chest.
Totally. Why is he working at a plastics factory by the day? Does he need like a cover like Clark Kent or something?
Also, what's up with the empty frames on the wall? Isn't the whole thing where you're supposed to cut the painting out of the frame and take the painting? It's like he cut the painting out and took the frame. By mistake.
I'm not much of an art guy.
I got plenty of art at home. I don't need any more art. Yeah. I don't need frames.
For my Miami Flames posters. For my autographed player posters. Wow.
All right, now let's take a look at our cast.
It's our very special guest star,
Miss Lynn Redgrave. She's playing Emily Huntford.
My husband had a stroke at his desk 10 years ago. I'll be gone in a matter of months. What good did all his money do me?
Lynn received Golden Globe wins and Oscar nominations for Gods and Monsters in 1999 and for Georgie Girl in 1967. She was known as Vanessa Redgrave's chubby sister.
By who?
Boo.
By the Hollywood.
The people?
The peoples in Hollywood.
Fuck that.
In fact, when she was up for Georgie Girl for an Oscar, Vanessa Redgrave was up for an Oscar for a different movie. They were going against each other.
Wow.
Oh.
But Lynn did win the Golden Globe that year.
Did they split the vote?
They split
the Redgrave vote.
Oh, well, the Redgraves are like this. Their parents and their grandparents were like famous actors.
They're like the Barrymores, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nepo babies.
Yeah. You know, Lynn's character in this, like she says, she's only got a few months to live, and it was true in real life. She passed away 9 months after this episode aired. She had breast cancer. She'd been dealing with that for a long time, and she was laid to rest near her niece, actress Natasha Richardson.
Wow.
Let's see. Vanessa nearly has an EGOT. She's won 2 Emmys, Tony and an Oscar. Lynn won the anti-EGOT. She lost an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
Nice.
Now, I am just as close to winning an EGOT as her, and I haven't even entered anything.
It's an honor just to be nominated. Good job, Lynn.
It's a good job. We get to see somebody before they were famous.
Before they were famous.
Who is that playing Andre Haslum?
And yes, I take her money. She's happy to give it to me. It's called patronage. It's respected, and it's as old as the arts.
That's Luke Kirby.
Yeah, that's Emmy winner Luke Kirby. Known as Lenny Bruce in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and Dr. Gemelli in season 2 of Dr. Death.
He's in so many things.
In his first major motion picture, Michael Myers crushed his skull in Halloween Resurrection.
Wow.
Until the blood came out of his eyes. And he was one of the 3 couples in the steamy cable series Tell Me You Love Me, in which the sex was so realistic, HBO had to put out a statement denying that the sex was real.
Wow.
Ooh.
I think we need to watch that.
Wow.
In the pilot episode, Elizabeth Mitchell gave Adam Scott a hand job that was actually a prosthetic penis, and there was a money shot.
What?
Yeah.
How?
She struck. How? Well, I guess there's like a little pump.
CGI.
That the grip, which is an appropriate name, I guess. The Best Boy would probably even be a better name. But, it's one of the stagehands just kind of like squeezed the Jergens lotion out of it.
This was regular HBO?
This was regular HBO.
Not like Showtime After Dark?
No, this is regular HBO.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Luke Kirby never ejaculated on that show, but it was pretty close, I guess. I don't know.
Whoa.
We have Hey, It's That Girl.
Hey, it's that girl.
Who is playing Callista Halsum?
I thought it was safe. This is a good hotel. I put the sign on the door. I checked the thermostat.
I wrote here, Coyote Ugly Lady ?
Yes.
Piper Perabo.
You guys are both right. Yeah, Piper Perabo scuffed up the bar top on Coyote Ugly. She was the lead on USA's Covert Affairs. And most recently, she played Summer in Yellowstone. She's the one who got into a brutal fistfight with Beth over her being a vegan living on a fucking cattle ranch.
That's right.
Yes. Bound to happen.
Yes.
I would highly recommend anyone who remembers Coyote Ugly or even maybe have seen it on cable, look up the Roger Ebert review of Coyote Ugly. It is a fucking banger.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm writing it down.
So Piper was asked by a travel magazine about what she packs when she goes places, and she said in all seriousness, she tries to keep it light, but she does pack a dress for the opera just in case. Yeah, that's what I said.
Just in case.
Just in case she gets invited to the opera. And she also says she needs to pack something in case she's invited to go ice climbing. Opera and ice climbing are 2 things I'm sure she didn't do in Montana while filming Yellowstone and not jerking off Kevin Costner's plastic penis.
They also don't go together. If you're doing ice climbing, you have those shoes with the blades on it.
The crampons.
Yeah.
Right. And then a very fancy formal gown for the opera. Those 2 things can't be in the same suitcase, so you're multiple suitcases.
We have a Hey, It's That Guy.
Hey, it's that guy.
Can you name the actor playing the foreman at the styrofoam factory?
You root for Miami, it's kind of like rooting for a rock, but, Marky, he bangs his own drum.
No, that was Danny Johnson, 8 Law & Order Universe appearances. He was most recently in the shitty mystery series Death and Other Details, playing Father Toby, the priest of indeterminate denomination you don't even really think is the killer to begin with.
That was a shitty show.
It was a shitty show.
Was it? Oh, no. Okay.
So shitty. So shitty.
That's a bummer.
Do you know the name of the actress playing the friend Celia?
No, but she looked like familiar to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Her name is Allie Marsh.
Callista is so fragile. That child was everything. Her world. I don't know how she's going to deal with this.
5 Law & Order appearances. Her most high-profile role was that of Dr. Shelley Finkel on the Mary McCormick cop show In Plain Sight, which happened to air right after Law & Order Criminal Intent on USA. She was in the movie Private Parts, Rebecca. She played a blind co-ed who went on a date with college-aged Howard Stern, felt up his face like Lionel Richie in the Hello video, touched his nose, and then called it off.
Mary McCormick was also in Private Parts, by the way. She played Allison, Howard Stern's then wife.
Right. Hey, any guess as to who's playing George, Emily's secretary?
Kind of.
Kind of?
He looks really familiar.
Yeah, if you were going to say it's McLovin, you'd be wrong, but you'd be close.
What?
Who is
It's
it?
not McLovin. No. His name is Steve Whitting.
I've run her life for 5 years. Georgie, do this, do that. I'm lonely, Georgie. Don't go. I went to Tufts for crying out loud.
He had some recurring roles recently in The Outsider, Tulsa King, and The Killers of the Flower Moon, but his breakout role was as Jason Bateman's nerdy friend Bert in the troubled TV show Valerie, which was later named Valerie's Family, and then finally The Hogan Family.
No.
By the way, Steve appeared in more episodes of Valerie than Valerie Harper did in her own goddamn show.
Wow.
You mean Sandy Duncan's show?
It became Sandy Duncan's show, exactly.
Wow, I'm really pulling out some deep cuts in this.
You
movie.
are.
I'm so
You
proud
are.
of myself.
So some of Steve's other works include a commercial for Golden Grams and a commercial for Stride Gum. Stride Gum was known for being sugar-free and for providing customers with mystery flavors.
Ooh.
Because everyone loves a surprise in their mouth. Just ask Adam Scott.
I was just going to say.
Leslie, can you name the actress playing the Hillis College administrator?
Andre's last semester, last summer, it really got out of hand. He'd come out after class, she'd cause a scene. If she couldn't find him, she'd search all the motels in the area.
No, but that was a hey, it's that lady for sure.
Yeah, that lady's name is Sharon Washington. 12 Law & Order Universe appearances for the trifecta. Wow. She created a one-person show and an audiobook called Feeding the Dragon. Her father was the custodian for a branch of the New York Public Library, and she grew up in the apartment above the library. So she grew up in the library.
Did you ever get slimed by a ghost?
Yeah. I have so many questions.
Yeah. Well, this is her second time in a show entitled Folie, Deux, because she is currently in the sequel to the Joker Folie, Deux. She plays the Joker's social worker. And judging by what the Joker is up to, she's not doing a great job of it. So Andre and Callista move into Celia's home. So Callista cheers herself up by watching TV commercials with children with cancer.
No, it's not right. The children don't die. Oncology. Children don't die. It's not right. Children don't die.
Remember, this is before TikTok, so you got to dig deep in the cable guide to find the St. Jude channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, is there TikTok St. Jude? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. It just
is that
seemed
like a meme on TikTok?
No, but it's like she's doom scrolling. No.
People doing like Marlo Thomas impressions on TikTok. That's fucked up, Kevin.
And then once you see one, you see them all. Because then they just keep coming. You take too long. You linger too long. No.
So we learn Andre is a shitty poet who often plagiarizes other works, and he's been teaching at a school that even Goren has never heard of, Hillis College.
Look, we're not listed in the top 100 American colleges. Okay, if you listed the top 500, we still wouldn't make it. And believe me, Andre let us know about it, too.
I mean, how bad of a poet do you have to be? You can't get hired by Hudson.
We are Hudson, where the bad guys go to school.
I hate poetry so much. I do. Anyone out there who's a poet or who loves poetry, I'm sorry. It is insufferable when people talk to you about their own poetry.
Yes.
Katie, you're not a poet, are you?
No, it's really, really difficult.
I'd rather hear you talk about your dreams like any day of the fucking week than read me a goddamn
I actually
poem.
totally agree. I'd rather hear your really long dream, your reoccurring long dream. I'd rather hear them. Poems are rough too because you feel like you're supposed to have a certain reaction when someone tells it to you because obviously it means something to them. And then it's just a silence when they're done and it's like...
Yeah, aren't you supposed to like snap your fingers like
like a beat poet?
Yeah, groovy baby. Yeah, like a beat poet, yeah. Candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker. I don't... So George is the secretary and he is running this scam, taking advantage of the missing baby to make a ransom demand. Now, he's the one who is liquidating Emily's funds for the ransom, yet he somehow doesn't know the police are setting him up for a sting. They're just like, here's the money and I'll see you later.
It was a super weird drop because I've never seen a drop before by a cop where then the cop literally just stood next to the garbage can waiting for the person to come pick up the money.
Eames is the literal bag man. She places...
Why is it Eames?
Because Goren has to stay back and listen with the headphones. Okay. I don't know.
Isn't it also supposed to be Lynn Redgrave? Isn't it supposed to be the aunt? Because she was the one that was called for the ransom. And so shouldn't she be making the drop?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The guy pulls up in a cab and then lets the cab go. It's like, there goes your getaway car. Why did you pay the meter?
Moron.
You're going to have $2 million in a second. You can leave the guy a tip. What they did is they placed this GPS tracker in the $2 million in $100 bills and then stuck it in a brown paper bag, dropped it right in the trash can. By the way, $2 million in C notes would weigh 20 pounds and could not fit in that bag.
Interesting.
But what is tragic is that right in the middle of the sting, a homeless man sticks his head in the trash and misses seeing the money.
That's a bummer.
Isn't that a bummer? He's like, darn, no aluminum cans, just 20 pounds worth of $100 bills. And the plan was to follow the kidnapper using the GPS to track him and get back to the baby. And it's going great until they go, oh no, he's going into the subway. The GPS won't work down there. And sure enough, on the screen, the little red dot goes away. And it's the perfect getaway if you're never coming out of the subway again.
NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit when other lenders say no. Apply in minutes and get a decision as soon as the same day. Loans offered by NetCredit or lending partner banks and serviced by NetCredit. Application subject to review and approval. Learn more at netcredit.com/partner. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
Everybody sleeps, but no two people sleep alike. At Coop Sleep Goods, we celebrate the way you sleep differently. We believe everyone deserves a great night's sleep with their own pillow. And the adjustable, customizable Coop pillow makes it easy. Whether you're a side sleeper, back sleeper, or even a starfish, we've got the perfect pillow for you. Crafted with our innovative memory foam and microfiber fill, our hypoallergenic pillows adjust to you, not the other way around. Just tailor the fill for the perfect fit. Add some in, take some out, until your pillow's just right for you. See why luxury hotels and spas worldwide feature Coop Sleep Goods and why we have tens of thousands of 5-star reviews. With our 100-night risk-free trial, you've got nothing to lose, except those sleepless nights. Get 25% off your first order when you visit coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy.
All right, now let's take a look at the second half of this episode. George, the secretary, says he and his boyfriend did not kidnap baby Emma, but knowing he was going to be cut out of Emily's will, he used the disappearance as a pretext to ask for the ransom. So Goren and Eames are at another dead end.
The Haslum's hotel room door was open at 7:22. That was Karsten. Okay, and then again at 8:36. That was Andre. Now, Karsten's a pro. He would have closed the door behind him.
So no one else was in the room?
Captain Ross says there's no way Emma could have been smuggled from the hotel undetected. Maybe she was never in the hotel to begin with. Could the parents have used the conveniently timed burglary to cover up a staged kidnapping? A visit to the Haslum's home reveals that the child in the most recent photos of Emma is actually the neighbor's kid. Goren believes the child has been missing for at least 6 months, and the couple have been keeping up appearances in a kind of dual madness, a folie à deux. While confronting the parents, Goren says Andre didn't write his shitty poetry for his wife. He wrote it for her best friend and his lover, Celia. Callista says one summer day, while searching motels for Andre and his latest lover, she left Emma in the car. The engine died in the heat, and so did Emma. It was Andre's idea to keep the death a secret. The parents are arrested, and the child's body is recovered from a shallow grave upstate. Okay, so this is season 8 of 10 of Criminal Intent. This is on USA. It's the first season that was ordered, that was not 22 episodes. USA just ordered 16 of them. Season 9, they did 16. Season 10, they did 10. This was the season that saw Jeff Goldblum replace Chris Noth as Detective Zach Nichols. Reports were that the first 2 Goldblum episodes were so bad that they were scrapped and reshot.
Wow.
With the exception of the season opener, though, the Nichols and Wheeler episodes of Criminal Intent got higher ratings than the Goren and Eames episodes.
Excuse what?
You. Yes.
I don't like that. People didn't like Bear Goren?
I'm just saying. Maybe it was the beard. People got afraid. They're like, who is this?
It's his best era. It's his best era. D'Onofrio trying to be tall, thin, leading man type. Clearly, this is who he is. Bear Goren. He's Bear D'Onofrio. And he finally got to be who he actually is. It's like he escaped that Edgar suit finally. and got to be the Goren that Goren was supposed to be, and in real life, the D'Onofrio that D'Onofrio was supposed to be.
I like it.
Oh, one last note about this season. This is we're talking about today is episode 7. Episode 8 was a Goldblum episode that has been banned from NBC and the DVD release, and you can't see it on the streaming services. It was about a bribery scandal involving the Olympics. And the Olympic Committee let its partner NBC know it wasn't thrilled. And it has never been seen.
What? If it
never
aired.
been seen since after it aired. It after the one time. It's too bad. Pedro Pascal was the killer or the bad guy in that one.
Oh boy! What?
And you'll just never know. You'll just never see him.
Okay, so it takes a fucking super racist episode for Law and Order to never air something again, right? And this is just corporate pressure.
As far as I know, there's only 3 episodes that were ever banned. The one on Original Recipe was the Puerto Rican Day episode.
Yep.
The one that never saw air on SVU was the one based on Trump grabbing him by the pussy.
Right.
And then this episode where NBC ran afoul of the Olympics, its billion-dollar partner.
Wow.
I could be wrong about those being the only episodes banned, but those are the only ones that come to mind. So
interesting.
But it's always because somebody at the network got cold feet.
Yeah. Wow. They bowed to pressure. Was Bezos the owner of NBC at the time?
No, Bezos doesn't.
Just
what are you
checking.
talking about?
Are we sure?
Oh, okay.
Someone should look.
Yeah. All right. We'll see. It's a little side dig there. All right. So the reason that George decides to use the kidnapping as an opportunity to scam Emily is because she is dying and that he has seen the will and he thinks that she's not leaving him anything.
I was going to take care of you.
No. I was there, remember? I was there to witness your will.
But you never saw my trust documents.
You idiot. How could you not have read the trust documents? You are the secretary. You should have drawn up the trust documents.
Didn't you file them at least in triplicate?
What the fuck? Especially if you're wondering, nosing around a little bit. I wasn't in the will.
To be fair, isn't he her employee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The entitlement of this fucking employee to think he would be in the goddamn will?
But
she's more than an employer to me.
I think he's like her personal assistant. She calls him a secretary, but it feels like he's been with her for decades. That at that point, that's like a member of the family.
As an employee.
Yeah.
He rubs the lotion on her feet.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So Russ comes to the conclusion that the baby never left the hotel because they have so many cameras on all the doors, they would have seen it.
So what are we missing? We've been all over that hotel. Security videos, elevator shafts, furnace, laundry, the windows don't open. As far as I can tell, there's no way anyone can get the kid out of that hotel.
Maybe they never brought the kid into the hotel.
You never thought to use all those cameras to see if a baby went in? Think about this. They have been pushing an empty baby stroller through New York City, and nobody said shit. Not like a carriage where you can cover a baby stroller. It's facing forward, an empty baby stroller. They checked in. The bellhop carried a portable crib up to the room. No one said anything.
Didn't Callista think the baby was still alive? She was under the illusion that she was still alive.
That's the Folie
Yes.
Okay, so it was just Folie 1, right? Because the husband knew the baby was dead.
It was a kind of Folie as he said. Yeah, the baby, yes, he was going along with it.
Folie
Yeah, I don't know. What is the end game here, Katie? Just keep pushing around the empty baby carriage until you go to first grade?
No, we are watching the end game. This was the end game because what Andre was going to be able to do was to clear the decks with this. It was going to be now his wife was going to slowly bring her out and be like, this is what actually happened, is that we don't know what happened to little baby Emma. We don't know because she was taken from the hotel this day. So anything that happened before didn't actually happen. This is what happened to Emma, right?
So it's very VC Andrews, right?
Yeah,
super My Sweet Audrina, right? 100%. That's a Folie à Deux too.
Here's what I don't understand is why he has to be also a faux poet.
Yeah, well, no, I think it's just, Goren cannot not with Andre and his shitty poetry, right? He can't help but correct it.
5 times.
I've read the Iliad in the original Attic Greek detective. If you want to trip me up, you'll have to be a little more subtle than that.
That's actually Homeric Greek, but
I should know.
He was trying to turn over a new leaf, but if he can't sniff stuff, he's just going to be an asshole. So I'm not clear what the deal with the substitute child is because it's a clue that something happened to the baby because the more recent photos of Emma are actually of the neighbor's kid. That's a big reveal.
Yeah, who's a redhead, by the way?
Yeah. It just made you feel like there was never a baby.
One that looks nothing like them in any way.
I did also think that there was never a baby. I did think that for a minute.
I mean, I know that the neighbor isn't really that attentive, but didn't he find it weird when they asked him to take a photo of both of them in his backyard with his child? Both of that. Can you take the photo of us so we can put it in a frame?
That's bizarre.
And Eames is suspicious because there's toys everywhere in the home, but they didn't, as they said, baby-proof the house. They didn't put those little plastic covers over the electrical outlets. And as a member of Generation X, I ask, how could that baby have survived? Oh, we lost so many great people in our generation. Sticking forks into electrical outlets. Thank you, plastic makers.
Hitting their heads on the corners of coffee tables.
The fuck?
Took out half our generation.
At least.
Oh my God, no.
And then falling with a fork into the socket after you hit your head on the table. It was
down the stairs because there was no gate.
Okay, my God. What monsters these parents be.
Wait, are we to believe that they unbaby-proofed their house after their baby died, but they still left all the toys around? Because that woman baby-proofed her whole fucking house.
Yeah, but now she's like, well, I still need to vacuum, so let me take this out. Gotta plug it in over
really
here.
Good point.
This is so inconvenient having these little covers on all the plugs.
Right. I do not like these cupboard latches. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you try to get under the sink?
I need to get to my poison unfettered.
I need it now. I can't fumble around with it when I need Drano.
It's a matter of moments.
Jesus. Yeah. Let's keep the poison all down here under the sink. We'll take the cookies. The cookie jar, we'll put them way up high so you can't reach them, kids.
Because that's the real poison. The sugar is the real
there you go.
poison.
That's the real poison.
Sugar and screen time.
Yes. Sugar and screen time. So it's not criminal intent unless we get the final Goren explication. And so he confronts Callista, who admits her mistake. While looking for her cheating husband, she forgot the baby was in the car.
Yeah, I would have never left her in the car without the air conditioning. How could I know that the engine was going to die?
Callista, shut your mouth.
Her skin was so hot to the touch. It was white. She didn't move. I took her home and put her in her room and pulled down the shade so it was cool and dark. And when Andre came home, he looked at her. He said I did the right thing.
And for a mother who would not put plastic covers on the wall sockets, I'm not surprised.
I did that once, Kevin. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
I didn't.
My God.
I didn't. That was not true.
No. You had the baby monitor in the car with the kid.
Well, I was knocking on hotel doors. I was holding the baby monitor.
So like you said, that recurring theme is Andre is that he's a shitty poet. And so I found some of the verses that he wrote.
No.
He wrote this one. Roses are red, violets are blue. You killed the baby in the car. Now I'm crazy too.
No, you totally missed the opportunity to rhyme Folie Deux. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, so that was a shitty poet.
He is a shitty poet.
Yeah. Candy is dandy, but a fork in the outlet is quicker.
NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit when other lenders say no. Apply in minutes and get a decision as soon as the same day. If approved, applications are typically funded the next business day or sooner. Loans offered by NetCredit or lending partner banks and serviced by NetCredit. Application subject to review and approval. Learn more at netcredit.com/partner. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
Everybody sleeps, but no two people sleep alike. At Coop Sleep Goods, we celebrate the way you sleep differently. We believe everyone deserves a great night's sleep with their own pillow. And the adjustable, customizable Coop pillow makes it easy. Whether you're a side sleeper, back sleeper, or even a starfish, we've got the perfect pillow for you. Crafted with our innovative memory foam and microfiber fill, our hypoallergenic pillows adjust to you, not the other way around. Just tailor the fill for the perfect fit. Add some in, take some out, until your pillow's just right for you. See why luxury hotels and spas worldwide feature Coop Sleep Goods and why we have tens of thousands of 5-star reviews. With our 100-night risk-free trial, you've got nothing to lose, except those sleepless nights. Get 25% off your first order when you visit coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy.
All right, let's take a look at the real-life story that inspired this episode. It's time for Rip from the Headlines.
You think you know who did it. You think you know who did it. But you don't know who did it. You don't know who did it. Rip from the Headlines.
Among the stories drawn upon for this episode include the 2007 disappearance of Madeleine McCann. The British family of 5 were on holiday at a resort in Praia de Luz in Portugal. Kate and Jerry McCann put the kids in bed, then left them in their apartment while they dined with friends at the resort restaurant. Kate returned to the room to discover the bedroom window open and 3-year-old Madeleine missing. The British tabloids pounced on suggestions the McCanns staged the abduction of their daughter. The Polizia Judiciaria named the couple as suspects. They latched onto inconsistencies in the parents' statements. They said cadaver dogs smelled blood behind the sofa and discovered Madeleine's DNA from the boot of their rental car. But investigators later admitted they misinterpreted this evidence, and Portuguese officials shut down the case in 2008. Madeleine's parents were slagged in the UK papers back home, but continued the search with Scotland Yard. Detectives now believed she'd been abducted by a stranger and uncovered reports of an adult carrying a child away from the resort in 2020. German authorities identified a man they believed murdered Madeleine, but they said they didn't have enough evidence to charge him. The fate of Madeleine McCann remains unknown. She'd be 21 years old today.
So how much of the buzz around this case has to do with the parent shaming? Leaving your toddler alone in a hotel room while you and your friends have dinner.
100% of it. Next question.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a call from the kettle.
I'm not shaming them. I'm saying that's where the buzz came from. That was your question.
Yeah.
Did they have a baby monitor with them is the question.
No, they did not. They had nothing, Katie, right? There's shame on these parents.
The thing was, I think there were multiple children with that family that was on vacation. It was like they were having dinner with other families. And so all of the kids.
There were 9 adults and 8 children.
And the children were all together,
correct.
right? And so there's an assumption that
okay, so yes, as you said, there were 9 adults, 8 children on this vacation trip. The press dubbed the other adults the Tapas 7.
Yeah.
By the way, when we abandon our children to socialize friends, they are called the Pabst Blue Ribbon 5.
Oh, that's great.
Tapas. Is one of them like Abby Hoffman or some shit? Like that's a very funny name.
I like it. Tapas 5.
Tapas 7. Yeah. So in 2022, German and Portuguese authorities said they had a suspect in the case. It's believed to be Christian Breckner, a German man who in 2020 was identified as a suspect but never charged. He lived in that resort town and received a 30-minute phone call the night of the crime. He told a fellow inmate that he once kidnapped a child in Portugal through an open window. Now, just this month, he was acquitted of multiple unrelated rape and child molestation charges, although he had been identified as a person of interest in the McCann case. And some of those rapes happened to have occurred in Portugal in that area.
But he was acquitted.
He was acquitted of these unrelated charges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of all of those charges? So he's never done any of that. He's never been convicted on any charges like that, we think.
No, that's not true. He was arrested for raping a 70-year-old Irish woman in Portugal around the same time of Madeleine's disappearance.
Not helpful.
Right.
And in the subsequent years since his release from prison, he has been accused of other things. I think there was at least one rape that like the statute of limitations had passed. But my theory, Maddie had this distinctive brown spot on one of her blue eyes, for those who know. My thought is that it is nearly impossible to take a child with that kind of feature, who's been featured in world media, and raise her under a new identity somewhere in the world.
True.
So that means
she's probably
dead.
Yeah.
That's my theory. I don't know. Does anybody feel...
No, I think she's probably not alive. I mean, isn't there a whole thing like First 48, right? There's a whole show called First 48, right?
Yeah.
Because like you have to, and they talk about it all the time in SVU. If you don't get him back right away, you're probably not going to get him back. Although it has happened. Like, we do see those stories sometimes where some adult realizes that there's some famous kidnapped kid.
Yeah.
And they were all over the media, right?
Well, and maybe it's something that, like, the brown spot in her eye, as she got bigger, that got smaller, something like that was really prominent as a kid. Then, as your face changed, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know about eyes, but also, sorry, didn't that happen a few years ago where a girl came forward and said she was her and she got in a lot of trouble? Yeah.
Yes, it did.
It's such a famous case. I remember falling down the rabbit hole a while ago.
So the case occurred the first year of Twitter, in the days before the Nazis all knew about it. Social media was very harsh on the McCanns. One of the biggest trolls was a 63-year-old woman from Lancashire. After she was confronted by Sky News about the 400 abusive tweets that she sent to the parents, this woman killed herself by overdosing on helium.
What?
Yeah. Her last words were,
I still think they did it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
Well, that is going to do it for us. I want to thank our guest, Katie. So, Katie, where can our listeners follow you online?
You can follow me. You can come and listen to our podcast, The Date with Dateline. We are wherever fine podcasts are listened to, and we are Dateline on Twitter, X, and Instagram, and TikTok, and all those places. Thank you so much for having
and
me.
Rebecca. Oh no, it was great. Sorry, you're never coming back
because of Abby Roundabout.
No, because you don't want to.
I would like to return, please.
Oh, good. Rebecca Lavoie, how can our listeners follow you?
They can follow me everywhere, but mostly by tweeting about Karen Reed and Rebel Lavoie.
And you can track me on Twitter at Kevin P. Flynn. You can tweet to us at Law and Order Podcast or Law and Order Pod, and follow us on Instagram at These Are Their Stories Podcast, or like and subscribe on YouTube or TikTok. Our newsreader was Cy Frater. Our theme music was composed and performed by Uncanny Valleys. Content assistance from Travis Roy. Lily Flynn handles promotions. All clips in this podcast were used in compliance with U.S. Copyrights Act fair use exemption for criticism and commentary. Go to lawandorderpodcast.com, sign up for our newsletter for a chance to be our next Law and Order Marathon winner. These Are Their Stories was recorded in Studio C and is a production of Partners in Crime Media.
Partners in Crime Media.
NetCredit is here to say yes, because you're more than a credit score. Apply in minutes and get a decision as soon as the same day. Loans offered by NetCredit or lending partner banks and serviced by NetCredit. Application subject to review and approval. Learn more at netcredit.com/partners. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
Your dining room is the heart of your home, where meals are shared and memories are made. At Ashley, you'll find affordable dining furniture in a range of classic and modern styles. Ashley small space sets and extendable tables are designed to fit beautifully into any space, from cozy breakfast nooks and kitchens to formal dining areas fit for a feast. And with mix-and-match seating options, everyone at your table gets the perfect seat. At Ashley, style is served. Shop in-store or online today.